So you definitely go out of town a lot. So how has that been for you? Do you enjoy going out of town? Do you what's your preferred?
Location managers like to travel. I guess I do like to go out of town. I like to go out of town when it's beneficial for the movie.
Sure.
And not necessarily beneficial financially, but for the look of the film. With incentives now, a lot of times we're going to places where we would never go before, just because they have the financial incentive, and you're forced to try to make one city look like something that it's not. So that's difficult. It's a challenge in a lot of ways. Creatively, it's a challenge. Sometimes you have to sacrifice. You're just not going to find San Francisco in Atlanta for big wide shots. So you do a lot more CG. You do a lot more tighter, closer things. But I love to travel. I love to go to new places, meet new people. I'm working on a project now in Oklahoma. I've never been to Oklahoma before. Discovering a lot about Oklahoma.
That's great.
It's a whole different way of working, a whole different sort of mentality of the folks who live there. It's refreshing and it's fun.
That's good.
People that are not jaded by the business. It's one thing when you work in New York, Atlanta, Los Angeles, Vancouver all the time. A lot of filming takes place in those cities. People are used to it. You go to Pawhuska, Oklahoma, they haven't seen much filming. Actually, they've seen a little bit. They've got a TV show that's shot there, a reality show. But in most of Oklahoma, they haven't seen much filming, and so it's refreshing to go to a new place.
It is nice when you have a new set of eyes that will see what you do and is excited about it, as opposed to, oh, I couldn't park my car on my street because that darn film crew's there. So,
them again.
Yeah,
no, and that's one of the things I like about my job is I love to share with folks how we make movies. It's to give people that behind-the-scenes perspective is always fun. It's always interesting. And it's great to see people's faces light up when you show them how you do what you do.
Yeah, well, it is amazing because the industry as a whole, people really don't know what goes into it. When I explain to a client, oh, we're having a commercial or a feature film, they say, okay, great. And then 60 to 100, how many did we have on Top Gun with 300 people,
350 people, yeah.
It's a little overwhelming, as well as the trucks and the gear, and but it's still exciting. I've been doing this 25 years, and it still blows me away how much it takes to film even a simple commercial or even just a walk and talk hallway scene that we worked on.
Yeah, well, it's amazing because you can tell people we're going to have 350 people and 400 extras and half a mile's worth of trucks and equipment, and they say okay, and then you show up and their eyes are as big as pie plates. It's just hard to comprehend all the equipment and all the people that are required to put a movie together.
Well, that's the one nice thing about working in LA, where we do is most people have seen it enough where they're not surprised. So it makes my job a little easier when I can tell them, like, okay, we get that, we've had that before. So we actually had a really good. Your team was great, and the building that we shot at was really great too. They really did a really good job.
They were fantastic. Yeah, they
getting
were really
everyone
great.
wrangled in there. Yeah, so that was great.
Yeah, it was a good experience.
Good
experience.
So I know you work with the LMGI, which is Location Managers Guild International, and you've been, gosh, how many years have you been working?
I've been in the Guild since it was formed.
Okay.
It's almost 17 years ago now. I've been on the board for probably 10 or 12 of those years. I've been the president for a couple of years now. Yeah, it's a great organization. We do a lot of great things. We've got a very bright future ahead of us. I think we've reached a plateau and we're ready to take the next jump up. We've got a lot of things that are sort of in development now for the next year or two, where we're going to try to increase our membership worldwide. Europe is a big, open door for us. Asia, we don't have a big presence in Asia. We're going to try to break that in the next year or so. South America, there's a lot of interest down there. So the problem is we're a volunteer organization, and a volunteer organization with a small board, and everybody's busy and working, and it's just hard to do all the things we want to do, but we're chipping away and we're making progress. Good.
Well, yeah, but your job is definitely demanding. There's times where right now you're in town for a little bit, but you could get one phone call and all right, start it back up, or things have changed and now we need to do schedules. And having an organization with people that are always in motion is difficult. And the reason why it actually was created is to really educate people what location managers do, help them in their field, because a lot of times they're really, you guys are really the unsung heroes. If it wasn't for you, unless they were filming it on a sound stage, and even then you'd look for sound stages too, no one would know where to go. It's really, you're part of the storytelling. Is as important as the script. Here's the script, this is what people are going to say. Now we need it to look how we want the script to, you know, it's a marriage of both those things. And
our jobs are sort of twofold. You know, initially it's creative. It's all about the creative, finding the best location, the best look for the project, for the specific scene. Then it transitions into more logistics, trying to fit the crew into that location. It's always creative, because no matter, it seems like every film, the last couple of weeks you're looking for a new location. Either they've rewritten a scene, or there's a new ending, or something's changed in the preceding 100 and something days of work. So we're always creative. There's always the need, you know, you never put your camera away. You don't leave your camera at home, because you always, hey Mike, can you go find this? Or can you have somebody go find that? So yes, it's a challenging job, because it sort of takes both sides of the brain. You have to have the creative side, and you've got to have the logistics side, and the organization side. And some people they're very strong on one or the other. Some people have only one. Some people have only the other. So I try to put a team together where I've got a good mix of people.
That's good.
That they can sort of jump into any problem, whether a creative problem or a logistics problem.
Yeah, it actually has been nice to see credits and actually see a whole team now of location managers to tackle that, because it's a demanding job. You definitely deserve more credit in the credits, which I know the LMGI has worked on getting that, and it really is neat when you can see the recognition and really the work that you guys do, because without you, it wouldn't happen. Yeah, nothing would happen. So yeah. It's been really neat to see the organization grow, and we've been a part of it as well. And yeah, it's been great. But I definitely understand it's difficult when you have people that you rely on that are out of town, like yourself, quite a bit. So,
it's a challenge. It's a challenge. It just takes organization and communication.
What was one of your biggest challenges that you've had to deal with?
Well, as far as a challenge, I worked on a project recently. I was called in to help solve a location problem, and it was, I have to say, the biggest production problem I've seen in 30 years. Wow. There were all kinds of things mixed in, from the location manager who was on the show not spending a lot of time paying attention to his job, to working with property owners who were maybe not as straightforward as they should have been. We had environmental issues with black mold in a location. We had weather problems. We had all kinds of problems. We had a building that wasn't safe to film in. We had to find a new location, all in about 2 weeks.
Wow.
Because the company was based out of state, shot most of the movie out of state, and then we're coming to this other location for just 10 days of filming. I walked in, and there were no permits. The city hadn't been spoken with. The location agreement was a little loose. We had a property owner who was somewhat antagonistic, and so I came in sort of as a fixer to try to solve the problem, and we solved all the problems. We brought in a new location manager, we brought in a production manager, a new production team, and we worked 16, 17, 18 hours a day for a couple of weeks, and the company never, I think they pushed 1 day.
Wow.
They pushed 1 day.
That's amazing.
It was quite a challenge. It was a lot of days with no sleep, and working with some difficult people. But I'm happy to say that the project finished on time. They got the work that they were looking to get, and everybody was happy. But
Excellent.
It's something that I don't really want to deal with again anytime soon. It was just a very, very difficult problem. But I'm happy to say that I could go in and help the production fix the problem.
Well, you definitely have the experience. You've kind of been there, done that. They obviously knew that you had the expertise to kind of come in there and really kind of.
As soon as I got in there, I knew I needed help, and so I called. I was on the East Coast, and I called a location manager, a very experienced location manager who came in, And we have a mutual friend who's a production manager, and she came in, and between the three of us and a couple of other folks who were on the ground, we figured out the problem and we worked it out.
Well, that's great.
Yeah.